You're drowning in debt, and one message could change your life forever. Do you take the offer? Level 1, you wake to the sound of your phone buzzing like a warning siren. Bills, notifications, a number that keeps climbing. Your stomach knots. Your landlord texts again. Rent overdue, you count. Weeks unpaid. Calls ignored. Promises forgotten. You pace. The room shrinks. The city feels like a noose. Every turn is a ledger entry against you. You need cash. Fast. The options are thin and brutal. You look in the mirror and don't recognize the face that answers back. Fear tastes metallic in your mouth. You swipe. A message pops up, a name, an address, an offer. It reads simple. Work, pay. One shot. You think it's a scam, but desperation is better than starving. You decide to go. You tell yourself you'll be smart. You tell yourself it's temporary. You tell yourself it's just a job. You leave with your hoodie pulled low and your hands empty. You are not leaving a home. You are leaving a life you can barely afford. Level 2, the alley smells of wet concrete and cheap perfume. Neon leaks from a cracked storefront. A car idles. Two shadows step out. You smile like it's a job interview. Your voice is small. They measure you with eyes that don't blink. They ask what you owe. You rattle off numbers like a prayer. You in one says you nod. They hand you a card folded over hard cash. No contract, no signatures. A handshake that feels like a sentence. They explain the rules. Loyalty, silence, payback. They explain the first task. Collect, deliver. Don't get messy. You are given a burner phone and a nickname. You are told where to wait, what to say, when to be quiet. They press money into your palm. It burns with possibility. You imagine rent paid, calls returned, a lighter heart. You take the money and swallow the guilt. You walk away with your name replaced. Level 3, the first job is close enough to make you think you can quit after. An apartment, a man behind on his mortgage. You learn the choreography of fear, not wait. Your pulse is a drum in your ears. The door opens to surprise. You speak calm, friendly. You say the lines taught to you. They sign, they stare at your hands. You feel invisible. You take what you're told to take. A ring, a watch, a wad of papers. No blood, no screams, just the dull click of your exit. Back in the car, you feel different. The money is warmer than anticipated. Relief crashes through you like a wave. You text home, money sent. Don't worry. Your phone buzzes with a reply. Thank you. You almost cry. You also almost vomit. This should have been the end. But the debt keeps multiplying. The boss calls you back. Level 4, now it's late nights instead of late payments. Now it's more than pickups. Now they're deliveries. You carry packages that smell like cold metal and desperation. You dress in anonymity. You memorize routes like prayers. You learn faces. The boss with a scar, the lieutenant with the soft hands, the guy who watches your back. Sometimes you drive. Sometimes you wait. Money flows, and with it comes small luxuries. A hot meal, a bus pass. The first night you sleep without waking to invoices, but luxuries cast long shadows. You wake to new rules. Lead with silence. Don't ask questions. There are nights you watch someone get hurt. There are nights you hear your name in a sentence that ends with a curse. You stop telling yourself it's temporary. You begin to map the network in your head. You start to see how deep the roots go. You also start to notice fear in your own reflection. Level 5, the ledger turns darker. A debt collector owes the gang. You are sent to collect something older, something personal. The job goes wrong. The target fights back. You are pushed to the edge of what you thought you could become. A glass shatters. A voice breaks. You hit a wall you can't unsee. After the crew is silent in the car, blood is on your knuckles. You pretend not to feel it. You lie to yourself at night. The boss watches you differently. Respect is no longer the currency. Suspicion is. You are given away by a slip, a late call, a glance. A lieutenant pulls you aside. You need to prove yourself, he says. Proof comes in the form of a sealed envelope. It contains a name and a date. You have to make a choice. Turn the person in or die by association. You think of home. You think of the rent notices frying in the trash. You think of the small face that called you dad. You drive to the address with the envelope burning your pocket. Level 6, you're in the hallway, heartbeat loud as a fist. You stand at the door of someone who helped you once. Everything inside you screams to run. You press the buzzer anyway, they answer, surprised to see you. You study them, then you hand over their fate disguised as a face they beg. You hear your own voice begging with them. You walk away as sirens bloom somewhere far off. This is your line. You crossed it. You cannot pretend you didn't. The money comes heavy and clean. You count it in the pale light of the motel room. You sleep, but your dreams are gutters of faces. When you wake, you realize the gang calls you by a new name, reliable, and reliable is often expendable. Level 7, the Titans. Trust is currency, but loyalty is a trap. A rival slips through the network. Police start asking questions. Someone you trusted betrays you. It's small at first. A wrong time, a detail you didn't know. Then it's a raid. You are on a run. No one planned for this. You are given a scapegoat role. Drive. Distract. Decoy. You keep your hands on the wheel and your mouth closed. The car jerks into alleys. Voices bark orders. Your mind fragments into lists. Who to call, where to hide, what you will lose. You think of the debt that started it all. You think of the debt you can never repay. You are the engine they use to escape, and the engine can be removed. Level 8. You find an exit plan scribbled on a napkin. It is brittle and hopeful. A friend, one of the few, slides it across the table when the rest sleep. It says, leave, go north, take the cash. Burn the phone. You weigh options. Run and risk being hunted, or stay and be swallowed. The city has a smell tonight, smoke and rain and old decisions. You take the cash. You burn the burner phone. You pack a bag. You take only what can fit in two hands. You stand on the rooftop for a moment. Below, The gang's neon looks small and ridiculous. You climb down, you move fast, you cut ties with an efficiency you didn't know you had. You leave a note that is nothing more than a blank sheet folded. On the bus, your handshake like leaves. You have money, you have a clean slate, but you also have prints on the knife of your history. You are free in the same breath you are marked. Level 9 days later, you hide in a town 2 hours away. You get a job stacking shelves. You pay cash to a landlord who doesn't ask questions. You sleep with the curtains closed. Sometimes you dream of the man in the apartment, of the face you handed over. Sometimes you dream of the lieutenant's eyes. You call home with a number you bought. It's safer, it's quieter. The voice on the other end calls you by the name you used to be. You almost answer. Instead, you keep your voice flat. You send money, you hang up. Guilt sits beside relief at the kitchen table. It doesn't go away, but you learn to carry it. You learn to turn it into a warning. You learn to notice the first signs that led you here, and you learn to say no. Level 10 months pass. Police interviews blur. Threats come like winter gusts. Sometimes someone from the old life appears at the grocery store. You lock your jaw and keep walking. You have scars you don't show. You have a bank account with a balance that keeps sleepless nights honest. You promised yourself one thing. Made it to the end? Hit like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments. At what level would you have walked away?